Hey there everyone, it's Joe from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, selling you the best bullion bars and coins, shipped to you worldwide from Melbourne in Australia. This is your weekly precious metals analysis where we take a look at the big four: gold, silver, platinum and palladium. Head over to Bullion Now YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bullion Now. Now, how many times can I say now in the one sentence? 8,340 something subscribers, a whole bunch of new subscribers in the last couple of weeks since the last analysis. I didn't do one last week, sorry about that. I've been promising weekly. We've been doing pretty well, but it just didn't happen last week. It was very busy, very busy in the store. So hit the big red subscribe button here to join the winning team, because we're a one big giant family. All right, gold. Here we are, priced in US dollars, currently hovering at 1,870 something, roughly. We're using the tradingview.com website. Head over there. It's a really great website. You can start your own account. It's free. You'll get some pop-ups every now and then advertising, or you can pay for it. I haven't paid for it yet. We probably should. But here we are with gold. We were just before, I'll put this into the daily, just as we were making the last video. You'll see here, if you can see it. I'll see if I can blow it up a little bit. Where were we? Right there. You might not be able to see it, but we were just at the top. Right here, roughly. We were around about there. Now, the election result, let's call it that, the election was over as such in terms of that specific day. And I did this, recorded this on Monday, but it was Monday our time, not Monday markets opening the US time. So after I made that video, not too long, and it was a few hours, something like that, we saw a little spike up to 1960. Remember, I've been talking about this 1960 level as a line in the sand for me, in terms of I'd need to see it rise above there before I'd be confident that we'd be continuing on our merry way up. And had a tiny little spike, and the market opened in the US and all the way down on the news of presumptive president-elect Joe Biden. We'll see what happens there. But we had this big dump all the way back down to around about $1,850, $1,850. And you can see right here, that's definitely a big level of support. I will just pop that in for now. Where are we? Horizontal line. You can easily see that round about there. Almost a spike down to there. Definitely there. And in the last couple of weeks, another level of support right there. And we've just been hovering in this range of around about 1850 to what was that, 1900, so in about a $50 range over the last 2 weeks. I'm not going to tell you where I definitely think it's going, up or down from here. I will say that, the more you test a support level, the more times you knock on the door, in this case the trap door, the more likely it is to be taken out, the more likely the door is to open up but that's similar when you're doing a resistance level. The more times you knock on a particular door moving higher, then it's more likely to break out. So we've had 1, 2, 3 tests now of the 1850 level. But I'm definitely not going to say, definitely moving lower, definitely moving higher from here. Let's see what happens. I think it's got a little bit of time to play. Not that long, I'd say by the end of this month, in the next week, I would say it would have made its decision either way. And for me, that's because, I say that because of this particular trend line, which I think is still in play, even though we had this big dip here in March. But what happened in March? It was a black swan. We had the markets really reacted to COVID, or the thing that shall not be named, which I just named, but that's okay. All markets, cryptos, metals, share market, had this big spike down. So if it wasn't for that big spike down, I think this trend line would have just been a nice clean trend line. So I'm going to ignore that and say that this trend line is still in play. You can see right there, and right there. We've been trading above it as well. But since we've been trading in this little range here, it's coming very close. So I would say the decision would be made. It's either going to, bounce off this, or it's going to break down below this. And we're talking, let's say, around about, there you go. Look at, if you can see right down there, the 1st of December. So by the end of the month, we will have our decision breaking down or moving higher from here. So I'll give it about a week, anywhere between the next few days and that up to the end of this month. We'll make our decision, and my targets still remain. They have not changed, so we've been talking about them for a number of weeks now. My target moving lower is going to be a range of somewhere between 1800 to 1750. That's the target moving down in the interim. If we continue further down there, a big if, but if we do, then I will give you my targets moving down. But let's just keep it at the 1750 to 1800. And you can pause this video and look at my other couple of targets moving higher. You can just pause the video and look on this right hand side for those targets moving higher. That's gold in US dollars. We will do Australian dollars today, just very quickly. XAU AUD, as I say, as always, it really does depend what the Aussie dollar is doing against the US dollar. As you can see, the big spike down not too long after the US election, all the way down to this trend line here, as you can see, actually. See those 2 points right there, all the way down to there. So 2,560 Australian dollars. You could see this as a potential level of support, but again, it really depends on what the US dollar is doing and what gold is doing in US dollars. But that's where we are, $2,560 in Australian dollar terms. Let's go to silver. Silver, similar thing. Had the same kind of movement. We were coming up to a trend line right here. In silver, we were almost going to break 26, and the market opened and back down to this support level right here. As you can see, that's about, we'll call that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, roughly points at about your 2370 level. So that's the line for me right there, 2370, a break below 2370, and tells me we are moving down further. So let's take a look at the weekly, and my target remains the same, moving lower. As I said, I think we would be heading, if we're going to break down, we would be breaking down to between $19.70 and this level right here of $19 is my targets moving down and moving higher. You can, again, pause the video, but very quickly, we've got to get above that $26 level. As I've been saying, of course, we want to break above here at the $30 level, which we got up to, but the big line in the sand, not the line in the sand, sorry, the big one is going to be this $35 level. Back here in silver and USD. As you can see, that's that really big one right there. So again, I'll remain indeterminate for now. Definitely not saying going definitely down, definitely not saying going up. If I had to give you a market sentiment, just in terms of our own customers, we've had a lot of customers come in, more customers than usual, I should say, more customers than usual coming in this week, particularly today. Monday's been an interesting day for sellbacks. Had a number of clients sell back their gold and their silver today. Maybe they think it's going to head down further. Maybe they're thinking about getting into other investments. We've had a couple of people mention that. Seems to be at least the very small, microcosm Bullion Now market sentiment. A lot of people selling. Certainly many more people buying than selling, but more sellers today than we've usually seen in the last couple of weeks, I should say. So that is silver. I will quickly show you silver in Australian dollars, XAGAUD. All right, we're here at $33.15. We had that high of 41. Oh, this is on the monthly time frame. On the weekly, we spiked up to the $35 level and all the way down to $33.15. My target moving down in Australian dollars would be around about your $30 level right there. As you can see, $29, $28.90 technically, but let's call it $29 would be the next level right there. 1 and 2 levels of resistance previously now may become levels of support. So $29 roughly in Australian dollar terms. Okay, now here's an interesting one. Platinum. We've also had a bunch of customers coming in and swapping their other metals for platinum. Platinum's looking pretty good, I should say. It's looking good. I'm going to, I won't say we're in a brand new bull market in platinum, but it's looking positive. I think over the next couple of years, we could start to see a very nice move in platinum. And I think potentially, and this is not financial advice, but I think a move to move higher, sorry, I should say that again, a move to become closer to parity to gold, once again, like it did quite a while ago, even overshot gold at one point. But I think we're heading up into the territory of moving into parity. Get my words out, Joe. Into parity with gold once again. Might take, a year or two, something like that. But platinum's looking quite positive. We've seen this. This is the monthly time frame. In the last week or so, we've just seen this nice little spike up. That's in the weekly. Sorry, let me go into the daily. From, let's see, the 12th of November, we've seen a spike from $865 all the way up to $965, so a $100 move in the last 11, 12 days or so. Looking quite positive at the moment, but I've got my targets moving higher. Let's see this. You can pause this video once again, just the interim targets moving higher, and you've got this big one, this trend line right here. You can see this is a big one which we would have to overcome and break above and then stay above and then become support in order to say definitely moving higher from here, and all blue skies from here on out pretty much, and that we wouldn't be going lower. So I do need to see it break above this trend line right here in order to say blue skies are ahead for platinum. But so far the sentiment at the moment, a lot of people coming to the store feeling very positive about platinum in the coming months and years. So that is platinum. Pause the video for my targets moving higher, and of course pause the video for targets moving lower. XPD for platinum also looking not too bad, looking pretty positive. This is platinum on the monthly time frame. Let me go to the daily, might be the best idea. We've had a recent high of $2,515, a little bit of a sell-off, people taking profits. Why wouldn't you? If you bought in here at $21.80 and you sold at $25.15 roughly, well, that's the most amount of money is made in the middle. You're not trying to absolutely pick the perfect bottoms and the perfect tops. A lot of the money, or the most of the money, is made in the middle, where you find a little dip, or that you find a little breakout, and then you get into it. This is for the day trading kind of people, I should say, or the swing traders. So a lot of people taking profits here, not a bad thing at all, but it's still looking quite positive. In Palladium, let's see if there's any trend lines I can do. That one was broken before. No, I will leave it at that for Palladium. We'll go back out to the monthly. In the monthly time frame, on the relative strength index, we're definitely in oversold territory still. So we're definitely in oversold territory. So if we were to move up from here and to break the all-time high, it certainly wouldn't be surprising. And quite often when we've seen gold and silver, the big two, move in one direction, we've seen platinum and palladium move in the opposite direction. So could it be that big investors, let me get rid of that, big investors and little investors like you guys coming into the store, trading the big two metals for the second big two metals? Does that make sense? So that's why we oftentimes see a bit of a flip around in those prices, but looking positive. If we were to move down, we've got these targets right here. This is on the monthly time frame, as I said, $2,030 roughly, $18.15, $18.20 would be the next two targets moving below, and moving higher, of course. You've got this little level here of 2,680, and of course the previous all-time high of 2,850. Again, we're not just quite there yet where I'll talk about the sort of real blue sky thinking, but even if you pause this video, I've got my Fibonacci levels drawn in already, so you could even base it on those if you wanted to. And that is Palladium. Of course, head over to bullionnow.com.au for all the best bullion bars and coins. Lots of new stuff added. We did the Valcambi 20 gram bars. These are so cool. There's these tiny little squares right here, 20 grams of 1 gram gold. You can snap them off. I've got the Queen's Beast stuff in that came in recently. And tomorrow, watch out tomorrow for a different type of epic video. That's all I'll say. Tomorrow will be an epic video of a slightly different kind, but you want to stay tuned for tomorrow's video on Tuesday, that is, because you never know. And have some dry powder spare as well, meaning some spare cash. Keep it up your sleeve for tomorrow's video, tomorrow's slightly different epic video, and hit the big red subscribe button to join the family, as I said, because we are the winning team. All right, gang, we will see you next week for another analysis. Of course, more videos coming all this week. Stay safe, take care, and I'll speak to you soon.